Welcome, adventurers, to Probability of Demise, the podcast where critical fumbles meet critical facepalms. Join us as we delve into the darkest dungeons, slay the stupidest gremlins, and roll enough ones to make a beholder weep. Forget epic storylines and heroic deeds. Here we celebrate the chaotic beauty of bad rolls, questionable decisions, and characters with more charisma than sense. We'll be your dungeon masters of disappointment, guiding you through campaigns where the only guaranteed treasure is a mountain of laughter, and maybe some psychic scarring. So grab your Nat 1 dice, strap on your anxiety helmets, and prepare to witness the glorious train wreck that is our D&D journey. Because, in the end, even if your character dies face first into a pile of pudding, at least you'll have the dice god's permission to laugh your ass off. Hey, welcome to Probability of Demise, the only game show where nobody's in a game and it's not a show, and they're all going to die today. Please like, subscribe, and do the other things that you do whenever you do the things that you do. Don't worry, we don't take D&D that seriously because we're a pod of people who like to hang out with each other. We hope you find your pod, and if you do, just be aware they're not as cool as my friends are. Sorry, that was a lot to come out of my mouth without actually any context whatsoever. But it is time for the favorite part of the show, which is the magical
Word of the day.
That's me. Okay. So, today's word of the day. Oh, I didn't even do like an intro or anything. Let me do one of those. So, greetings, everyone, and welcome to yet again another rousing episode of the word of the day. This very enchanting segment, we learn a new word to add to our vocabulary of words that we already kind of know how to say. Today's word of the day is...
Do we?
I love your optimism.
is efficacious. Oh, I didn't tell you what number. So, once again, with our magical D100, thanks to Jason, we rolled a 74. And today's word is efficacious. Efficacious is a formal word used to describe something, often a treatment, medicine, or like a remedy. So, used in a sentence, it could be something like, the cleric's healing spell was so efficacious that the wounded warrior was back on his feet within moments, ready to rejoin the battle.
Ooh, I love that we're actually using it in like D&D terms. That's so good.
Look at you.
A lot
Huh?
lately. Thank you.
You have. I noticed. Well done.
So,
Did we spell it?
Oh, wait.
No,
Are we
but I
spelling it?
can. EFFICACIOUS. Efficacious.
Efficacious.
And with that, as ever, I remain hopeful that we will have a moment in time during the session where somebody uses it brilliantly to describe some wild thing and gets inspiration and also magic that comes with that.
Stay tuned for the 1 in 5 episodes that we remember to use the word of the day.
I mean, honestly, like I would be more inclined if... Sorry, I just realized that.
Put the knife down. It was just a joke. You don't have to
I'm
be
not
so
killing
upset.
your character on purpose, I swear. Oh.
Mangosteen.
Uh-huh.
That's why I'm making
great.
this face, because I'm trying really hard not to cut myself. You know, we would have a chance to use it if you didn't keep just throwing us into combat situations.
Or do we
Just so
throw
happened I
ourselves
didn't.
there?
I mean,
That's the
Are
question.
you saying the word of the day is not efficacious for combat? Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. Maybe we can keep that one as we play forward.
That doesn't count.
Welcome back to Probability of Demise. The only fun thing about to happen here is the total party kill because Larissa just threatened us all with a knife. So Last time they did make their way out of the dungeon entirely. They had a nice long rest. They felt so recovered. And then they went across a lake that stood between them and part of Underton. Underton, for those of you who don't know, is the city that actually started Overton. Of course, because what comes over must come from under. At any rate,
What
they
lies beneath?
encountered a creature that was cared for and considered some sort of patron to the Undertonians who lived along the shoreline of this underground lake, and eschewing further involvement after healing it, which caused it to return to the Eldritch realm from which it had come in the first place. They made their way out, but not before losing a significant portion of their slimy friend. Down to the
We
barest
just have wo.
nubbins.
We don't have wubble anymore. We just have wo.
It's the barest of wubbins.
Boy. So with the barest of wubbins in tow, they made their way to the surface to a brand new day, because after your adventures throughout the dungeon space, a nice long rest, it is a brand new day, and you can smell the scent of recently fallen rain. So sometime over the course of your travels, it had sprinkled some rain upon the city. Things are seemingly peaceful right now. You can hear birds in the air, and the city is yours. You do have some outstanding promises to keep up with, including Maximo, the guard member who you were able to convince to provide a bit of decoy time to enter into the dungeon in the first place. Also, what happened to the rest of that temple after the explosion? Is Seraphina's construct still banging on some walls there? We don't know.
Dear Sticky Beak.
Yeah.
And there's a message to Sticky Beak. I assumed, based on the last time when we were facetiously saying "Dear Sticky Beak," we destroyed a great horror of the Undertonian world, that message was going to be put together and sent. Is that okay for me to have assumed that?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any
I think
other
we
Dear
probably
Sticky
also
Beaks that
included
go into
updates
that
of our
message?
temple exploration. And
Yeah, I think it would have been a sum up of our recent
dear
findings.
Sticky Beak, we have explored the abandoned temple and accidentally blew it up. But it wasn't our fault. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.
And you also detail out what happened with the explosion that led to the not so great
Poisoning of the water
misting.
supply. Yeah.
Great. You also have still those vials that you collected from there, the books you collected from there, various other sundries and artifacts, as well as an occasional trigger into each of those memories, Alua and Gus. Although, I will say this, could I have you both just start us off nice and healthily with a nice wisdom saving throw?
Yay! Okay. I don't know why I'm looking at D&D Beyond. It's not working.
14.
That's about as good as the roll is about as good as D&D Beyond is working for me right now. That is a 6.
Gus, you definitely feel like these flashes into each other's memory are getting under control. But Alua, you keep popping into memories of Gus's. And it's just really frustrating. I mean, and on the one hand, you are learning a lot about Gus. Are you at all trying to hide that these keep happening to you, even as you see Gus seems to be recovering and having less and less affect from those memory flashes?
Only in so much that it would be distracting, not in a I wouldn't do it in a malicious way in order to like keep information, but if there's something that like pops up that seems concerning, or like that I would want to comfort him about, or like that could be useful that I feel like he wouldn't mind being
Oh my god, I
discussed.
think Gus was the Overton Strangler.
but only like I don't want it. Those are cute. I don't want it to be. Don't make me go get mine. I don't want it to be distracting.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like I don't want to be like, oh my god, I keep like popping into your memory. It's so funny.
Perfect. So what I would love for you to do is just roll a deception check. Just not that you're consciously deceiving him about important things, but this will just let me know how many of these memories I should privately message you versus share with the group.
Deception. Disgrace. Sorry. She's unmedicated today. That's a 20.
All right. We
3.
can stop right there. No, Gus, would you like to
rolled a-
roll a insight check?
natural 17.
Just, you know, you have intimate knowledge of this, and I just would like you to have the opportunity to.
I rolled a nat 1, so.
So yes, you feel like you're both recovering very well, and this is just like solid space. Thank goodness that influence of whatever that was, the contamination, the goddess, the whatever, who knows where it was actually coming from, it is fading away, and it looks like your ally is healing as well. All right.
I'm glad I appear
Seraphina,
composed.
Seraphina, it is a new day, and you have been walking around for a little bit. Can I just get you to roll a d20 and add your Constitution modifier to it?
D20 Constitution modifier. 3. Okay.
Is she gonna be sparkly again?
Oh god, no. Okay. Not good, but it's not as bad as I thought. 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Nothing happens. All right. So the three of you have the city at your feet, many errands to do, a message off to Sticky Beak. And as you kind of just are out there in the world of Overton, I will say that you do hear a little voice echoing off in the distance.
Extra, extra, city of Macro, coming this way. Extra, extra, city of Macro, coming this way. To mourn the death of Brands.
City of what?
City of Macra.
Okay.
Like macrame.
I thought you were saying the city of mackerel. Like a
Yeah.
fish.
The city of
fish.
Macra, I think all of you would know, is one of the trading partners of Overton. It was one of the, unlike the Ascended Palaces, it is a full city that floats. It's very slow. It does not move with anywhere near the same speed as some of the Ascendant places are. So an announcement like this, and even, you know, should you choose to, you could look around the horizon and easily spot it days in advance of its arrival, because those cities, unless some new magic has occurred, do not move quickly.
At the speed of smell.
Pretty sure farts travel faster than the city does.
That needs to go on TikTok.
All right. What are you all up to?
How close are we to the temple where we surfaced?
Probably easily, based on, you know, you'll have gotten pretty adept at this particular section of the city. An hour's walk, closer than anything else, closer than, I mean, the only thing closer would be like maybe a Lua's home, if you're willing to trudge up the hill.
I think first I'm going to go look for Maximo.
All right. Is the party going to stick together and go with Gus as you find Maximo to catch him up? Great.
No splits.
Beautiful. Where do you go to find Maximo?
Where we left him.
Back to the bar.
Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, you head back to the same area, the area where the temple district is, and you can see as you pass, you're walking through the space, and as you walk into kind of this temple's footprint, there's a lot of other temples here and such like that. There is that bar that you went to, and you can see that it does look like there's a member of the guard posted outside. You can see that there's a bit of lazily drifting debris floating up into the air from where the temple is. So something has been occurring or happened. And then heading however you choose to get there, maybe you're going around the temple or whatnot, but getting to the backside of the temple and then therefore to the bar behind the temple, you find Maximo. Well imbued with the brew. It looks like there have been several individuals back and forth, and this bar has become the staging point for a series of messages and errands with regard to something, probably the temple itself. But it looks like Maximo has decided that this makes a great secondary office for the watch.
Like a command center with table service.
Yes, I mean, if you are going to be doing a stakeout, you might as well do a stakeout from a nice steak place.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
But
That was good.
all right, I'm just gonna go up
I
to him
ain't
and
got
be like,
nothing on that shit.
I need to can that so that I have it available to me whenever I want to, because this has
It's
nothing
not as
on what you
good.
do.
Yeah.
No, it's not as fun.
But it's also like the investigation theme. Like you can't.
It's got to be every moment needs its own version.
It has to be impromptu. Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause sometimes
so
it's faster. Sometimes it's slower.
distractions aside, Gus, Serafina, Ulua, you're at the bar. Maximo is there.
Gus face.
Chandler and or Gus.
I want to go up to the bar and get a drink for everyone. Just saying.
Easily
Wanna
done.
go-
I think the bartender is. It's not the normal bar's hours, but commerce is commerce, and having members of the watch kind of just stationed there at first, possibly going to be a hit to their custom. But Maximo is a good patron, not unwilling to spend coin. So the bartender's there. Very few other people in the space. A couple of members of the watch sitting at a table. It looks like they're off duty, but haven't yet changed out of their duty garb. And Maximo, as well as the bartender.
I am going over to Maximo. Like, hello.
The very heavy duty version of some sort of a scotchy bourbon drink that I got him.
Awesome.
Scotchy bourbon.
Something
I'll
that
take a
tastes
scotchy
like,
bourbon, please.
you know, it
A
tastes
large
like a
glass
water
of skirben.
It's more than a double dark. Who knows what it's made out of? I'm sure the bartender probably calls it some like temple area specific name.
Yeah. Alua gets something like some sort of fancy like apple martini-esque thing.
Cosmo. Of
A
course.
Cosmo,
I'm a
yeah.
Cosmo girly.
And then I got sugar. Sugar with vodka.
No, you got a dirty Shirley is what you
Yeah,
got.
that's what it was.
Alua has an Overton up. Serafina has an Underton down.
Gus has a leave me the hell alone.
And these are the drinks I pass out to everyone, and then I just sit at
Gus
the
has a
bar.
drink named after an obscure fishing village that nobody's heard of.
Fisherton.
Fisherton.
Fisherton's Folly. That's the name of the drink.
It's Fisherton's End. It's a bitter.
Well, you Jason good on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Please. Maximo's there. Sees you. Eyes a little red from just clearly what was a shift turned into multiple shifts in a row. Definitely working the overtime here.
Hello there. Wait. Hello there. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Off our rockers today.
Yeah. Oh, thank God you're here. I'm assuming that was you, and he gestures towards the temple, the back side of which is facing you right now.
That was the cultists trying to cover their tracks. They set some sort of trap and blew up the temple.
Well, that tracks. Okay.
There was hundreds of gallons of wyvern's venom that they were trying to dispose of. We're a little concerned about it leaking into the water supply. We did try to block it as best we could, but
There
we
may be.
may need to
reasons-
get some people in there to try to clean it up as soon as possible.
Okay.
The doors are illusions. You can walk right through them. They're the walls that were bricked up.
Is the illusion of the door still there? Just not the
Are the brick
building.
walls.
When you had walked through, you saw the illusion of the doors. The building overall is still there, most of it.
Oh.
But Seraphina, could I have you just roll an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, this one's going in jail. No more for you. Okay, Arcana. Plus 8, so 12.
I'm sorry. Did you say +8?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Her intelligence stat is an investigator's intelligence stat.
Seraphina's really, really smart.
Goofy as all hell, but super smart.
Sometimes a little strong, but we don't know why.
We love a strong girly.
She's
All
smart
right.
and a little neurospicy. A good fit for this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you all are, I guess, going to be aware of this. Seraphina, you can sense your creation too distant for you to actually control, but you can still sense that now that you're closer to it, a connection to it, and it's still whacking away at something. So it's still actively deconstructing the temple in some way.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a rundown on like the events, like the garden that we went through, the dead crone, like all that stuff, the stuff we found, the God's breath, all that, and just like give him like an info dump on everything that we did while we were in there.
Great. Yeah, I think that with that information that you share with him, he's able to come to some decisions. Well, I think we're gonna raid the place then. If those are illusion and there's this outstanding issue, yeah, we're diving
Yeah,
in.
definitely bring protective gear, breathing protection and such for
Yes,
want
I
anyone to
think we can.
get sick.
Yes, I think we have this. We'll cast some little. Yeah, I think we can. Kind of
Can you-
looks a
Can
little
you
bit
do
concerned.
me a favor? And when this, if this, but likely when, your efforts get stonewalled by someone on the Hollow Council at some point, or by an Ascended. Can you let me know who? If your investigation gets sidelined.
Yeah, well, it might have come to that already, except we're investigating some scandals in the market right now, so we're a little tied up at the moment. We need the overtime here for that purpose, so we really hadn't had any time to report on any extraneous activities, although we did send in a notice about some loud noises when
Big boom
initially
happened.
heard something late yesterday. But of course, the things that we're currently working on have been taking up much too much of our time to deepen those investigations and to report back anything new. So I feel we might get a little bit more done.
Well, good luck. I know how it can. The more serious things get and the more they involve powerful people, the harder it is to bring them home. So good luck to you. Let us know if we can help.
I appreciate it.
What's going on in the market? I think that's on our list of stops today.
Commerce is good. Brew is selling well. The blacksmith seems to be having a fit because he's singing like a mad person. The magician's shop, whatever they are, don't really know what they do, but they were initially concerned about some of the noises, but they seem to have gotten over it. Everything seems hunky-dory. Oh, you mean, no, it was a ruse. That's how we're keeping.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Of course. It's been a while since we spoke. I forgot that we asked you to do that. All right, very well. Is there anything else you need from us?
Your information is actionable and useful, and you've just made my day. So I think we're
Glad to help.
We're square.
Okay. I think if these guys are cool with it, or these ladies, these folks with me are cool with it, we will slam our drinks and head to the market.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to reject that. It's really
I mean,
up
that's
to
Jason
Serafina
asking. I
and
don't know.
Lua.
I don't know if Alua or Serafina have anything else here.
Serafina's just still at the bar with like 3 or 4 cups around her. Just face down on the countertop.
Oh dear.
It's been a day.
Oh no.
Serafina, are you all right?
Nothing ever goes right. And I'm tired. And I left my big friend back there.
I'm gonna say, okay, sweetie, and I'm going to cradle pick her up. As I'm doing that, I am going to maybe
Serafina's
skills.
depressed and drunk on all of her virgin drinks with no booze in them.
The thing is it's not like technically it's poison, but I don't think I have anything that technically does against poison. I just have healing word. So I'm just gonna pick her up, and
What's
I'm going
poison?
to drinking. It's considered like
Oh,
a poison effect. I'm gonna pick her up. I'm going to say, there. I'm sure you can build another one. I mean, hang on. This is bugging me. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just Sorrel. All right.
I can build another one, but I haven't even had time to do anything.
Okay, well,
Just like crying into her bosom, only half understood.
how far are we from my house?
You were closer before you came here, so now you're further away. Uh, so I think that just contextually, based on what you've all shared with me, if you plan to do market things, especially since it is kind of the beginning of the day, it would be a long trip back and forth.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to go to a different market.
Is there an inn at the market?
Yes, there is a Temple of Slumber.
I'm going to kind of swing her around so that I'm essentially like piggybacking her. So it's like her arms are over my shoulders. So that she can like, if she, I can possibly understand her better. But so that she still has something to hug.
I'm just rattling on like, all I wanted was to help my dad, and I need a new sword, and my sword's all rusty, and she's just like blabbering all the things.
Sure.
And I just kind of like, I'm like trying to kind of just console her while also holding on to her. And I'm sure it is not.
As someone who had a long career dealing with hysterical, upset people in crisis, Gus is just going to step in and be like, Sharafina, we need to go to the market. Why don't we go get you a new weapon?
I need one.
I know that yours is a little rusty. Let's go see what we can find.
I need one.
Okay. Let's go do that. What do you think?
Yeah, and then I go into my pocket and I pull out whatever money I have, and I'm like, I have this.
Well, we have some things from the temple we can sell, and then we'll see what we need.
So I think the first place we want to visit, and I'm like trying to coordinate with Gus, is
Blacksmith.
Well, we need money first, honey.
We need an herbalist and a bookstore.
I have it. I pull out more money because I think I have money.
It's very Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman right now. I have all this money.
Nobody will help me.
The members of the watch have been gathering as you're like having this, and you're holding up 10. What did you say?
I have 310 gold.
She's
nice
swinging around 310 gold.
I'm just going like, I have this piece
Jingle.
and this piece and this piece.
Okay, honey. You're not gonna want to just go flashing that around. Put it back.
Oh,
goodness.
I put it in her hands and I go, you need to buy yourself something.
Get yourself something pretty.
And then I give Gus a little too. I'm like, Gus. I stroke his little face. Gus. You also need things. I don't know what you need, but you need things. And I give him money too.
And I turn my head just like to the side so that it's up against her ear, and I go, paints. He likes paints.
Okay.
I'm just gonna as we walk. Are you on your feet, or are you still piggybacking?
I leave it up to her when she gets down. Because I don't think she can walk right now.
In my mind, I'm still on the big beautiful lady.
Okay. At some point, I'm just going to put the money back in her pocket that she gave me. So, I want to go. Actually, Sharafina, I could use your help with a couple of things.
Can do.
Can you identify
Yes.
these two items for me? And also, if you have an extra spell, maybe my shoes, because I've been meaning to do that for years.
Yes, I can do it all. Okay, so wait. I can.
So I have
Spells.
the magic cloak that we looted. I have the crone's necklace that we looted for identify, and also Gus's shoes from his patron.
And I have 3 slots that I can do that with. So those 3 things. 1, 2, 2,
Pew, pew, pew.
3. Whapa. Just while I'm upside down over Halua's shoulder,
Just-
being like, these
I'm just
are
imagining it like
shoes
your legs
that
underneath, like her
can-"
arms wrapped around your legs, and you just lean backwards and like, and then just like go back up.
Pop down all my things, be like, these are.
Business mode momentarily.
Let's start at the top here. We got the three things. We've got the shoes,
Shoes, cloak, necklace?
cloak, necklace. Okay, I'm going to need some reminders because I have a ton of notes of things. And I need some reminders about these.
Okay, the
different
shoes was from my backstory. You told me to pick an item that my patron gave me, but it needed to be identified, so I didn't know what it was, and I picked shoes.
items. Oh, great. Seraphina, let's identify that first. As you cast your spell, you're holding his shoes. Are they still on your feet, Gus?
Mm-hmm. I got maybe like 1 foot up, and she's got like leaning backwards, like holding my foot, probably.
These are cursed shoes of the sneeze. They have an effect where they bond the wearer to a being from beyond this plane. They also give the wearer upside down luck, where bad things that befall them feed the positive luck of their patron,
Oh.
and positive things that befall them also seem to train that magic back towards the patron, but there's like a little reservoir that stays with the wearer. And you can see that Gus's reservoir is explosively full.
So I tell him all that, and at the very end I go, you, my friend, are lucky. Almost too so, I would say. We need to deplete your luck. We must go gamble.
Can you put those in my inventory, or do I need to write all that down?
You'll have
You
to
have
write that
that?
down because this is a very special, unique thing that is going to be.
I will
It's
pull
very
that from
specific
the.
to you.
I'll pull that from the recording after and put it in. All right.
But the curse part of it, Seraphina, is this that Gus can't take them off.
Oh yeah, Gus, you can't take them off. You probably have known this, but
Does that mean I've been
validating-
sleeping with my shoes on for like 80 years or 100 years?
Yeah.
God, that's gonna stink when I get them out.
Impressively, Seraphina, as these you're like manipulating these shoes, there is no like putrefaction smell or other things like that. That somehow these shoes are doing something beyond what you know, because what you can see is that reservoir is there, and then there's magic flowing back and forth. But there's no other active spells right now in this moment for you to identify. But what I will share as an advanced kind of like level up of this, these shoes are a conduit back and forth. And I think
does that
all of
mean?
you as magic users would know, but definitely Seraphina would as an artificer. Conduits can be used to cast spells through.
Ooh.
So just because this item itself doesn't have a spell attached to it beyond the ones that you're seeing that allow it to be this conduit and that keep the curse alive, a conduit is a pathway, and the pathway could be used.
You can do things through your feet, Gus. You could just point your foot and then go la 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 and cast a spell.
Okay.
But I think you must point, flex, to be able to do it.
That doesn't seem right, but okay.
I think it is. I think that must be done in order to cast spells. Point, flex, cast.
Yeah.
As Gus plies, you can see that it's like not a great plie. Nothing happens. Moving on to the next item, unless you were going to spend more time with the apparently point
Let's
shoes
go
of doom.
magic cloak.
Which magic cloak is this?
You told me it was a magic cloak. It's not identified. It's looted from the
wait.
temple.
From the temple. Oh, the one from the temple. Okay, great. Yes, you cast Identify Seraphina, and I need you to roll an Arcana check.
Arcana. Shoot. That's gonna be a nat 1.
Boom.
Okay, well, through your Identify spell, the cloak seems to be transitioning as you're casting this spell. And what you realize is this cloak, it's gray suddenly, and it wasn't before. It's kind of transitioning a little bit, and there's this like white silk helm and now a platinum clasp. And there must have been some illusion on it, but as soon as you cast Identify, it kind of has made this transformation. And you recognize that while wearing this cloak, the wearer will have advantage on any situation of initiative. They cannot be surprised. And if they wear it with the hood up, they gain true sight. But their eyes become a soft blue-white glow.
Ooh, pretty.
If you want to look for that one, it's called the Visionary's Cloak.
Okay, and then the other item is the crone's necklace that we took after she died.
Yes. The crone's necklace, when you cast Identify on it, Seraphina, you find that there's a repository of something that's not magic. Your Identify spell identifies this as, and the word kind of bubbles to your mind, but it reminds you of something that was said down below. Godspeed. Godseed. I mean, this is whatever that stuff was.
Breath?
That they were God's breath. Sorry.
Yeah.
God's breath. Words that cannot be said by me.
I got you, boo.
This is the same thing that they were trying to extract, not the byproduct, but the other thing that they were trying to extract, the actual purpose behind their redonkulousness.
Underworld operation, aka redonkulousness.
All right. I think we should keep these. If those cultists wanted God's breath, we probably don't want to just sell this to a random vendor. That seems dangerous. Although, why don't you keep this magic necklace? That will give you the crone's necklace to wear. Then you can become a god.
You want me to put this on?
Sharafina, does it seem like it would be bad to wear?
Do I think it is bad to wear?
The cloak? No.
No, the
No,
necklace.
No, the necklace.
No, nothing seems. It does not. It just seems to be more of a repository of magic rather than, or of this God's breath, than, I mean, it is magical in that it's able to contain it. So you can see, like, there is a complex, like you've geeked out, Seraphina, I would say. Like, you're an artificer, you create crazy contraptions. And while the outside of this is not a crazy contraption, the magical scaping of it is a crazy contraption. It's like somebody took a wildly imaginative, multi-step machine of spells, just the spell components, all to keep God's breath inside of this amulet.
Okay, I guess I'm going to ask Sharafina, who do you think would have the most benefit from this, from all of us? since you're geeking out over it.
Who do I think would benefit the most?
I don't know.
Anyone?
That's not my job.
I go, pretty necklace, pretty lady. And I hand it to Alua. And then I realized what I just said and went, came out wrong.
And since you're like riding on her back, you just like put it on her.
Yeah, I'm just, in a minute. Okay.
I just kind of touch my hand to it. Is it something that would need to be like attuned to in terms of a magic item? No?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't do anything in that way.
Okay. I
Who's
just
doing the most
gingerly.
tanking out of all of us? Probably you, Larissa. I feel like we're all just like squishy, so I don't know.
I would say Seraphina. Once she
I'm-
has a
I'm
good
gonna
weapon.
take the cloak and like put it on Seraphina, so you can have the Visionary's cloak,
Okay.
so you can not be surprised. I assume you have to attune to that after Bert adds it to our inventory or our ability to see it. But
The cloak will take an attunement slot.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry.
so next time we got to send somebody first, it should be Seraphina because she can't be surprised.
That's fine. I always try to take up the rear. It's all. I feel like I'm constantly fighting for it with the rest of you.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like I'm fine taking up the rear because Eldritch Blast has a range of 120 feet. So if you want to be the middle person in our patrols from now on, feel free.
Well, the issue is that a lot of my spells are like point of inception cones and stuff like that. So you being in my way isn't really ideal.
That's what I'm saying. I'll be in the back, and then you could like step up next to Seraphina and wee. I don't know.
I guess, but I'm just talking about like yeah, whatever. Okay.
Um,
Semantics for later.
and then I want to go to an herbalist first before the mushrooms lose their potency.
How are you finding an herbalist? In what way are you trying to
My
locate them?
innate knowledge of the city. I assume I've been to this market. Oh,
There is not an herbalist in this section of the city that you know of, but there are these transitional shops,
okay.
kind of an open market situation where people come in and out and are there and not there. So you can go explore there. It's most likely to be,
Or maybe like a potion shop or like a
there's a magic shop
alchemy
nearby.
shop.
So I'll say this. You kind of walk down the street where the potion shop is and the open marketplace are. And I can give you this description of both. The magic shop seems... None of you are... Well, maybe Seraphina. Seraphina is the closest to being the pretentious style of magic user, right? Follow the rules, read the books, go through the formulas. Alua, you have musical knowledge, which has connected you with the magical space, so you do follow some of those, but you also are guided more by gut and instinct than by intellect. Gus, yours is fully born of instinct. And you can tell that this shop does not cater towards those who are of instinct born. It is very much a intellect-based shop. And you kind of walk by that. You also walk by the open air market, and you can see that there is a fey shopkeeper at one of the booths. There's a fortune teller at another one of the booths, and various foods and sundries, as well as a little beer stall or cider stall. It's hard to tell which. But the individual at the has like this little hand cart where she like picks it up and can carry it herself, or put some sort of creature on to work carrying it. She has herself set up, and she has a lot of very unique looking herbal items and plants at her spot.
Okay.
So you have the two options of this kind of like street vendors person who's very specifically has the kind of plant thing going on, or this much more formal magic shop.
Okay. First, I'll go over to the street vendor and be like, "Hello,
Hi.
hi. Do you buy rare plants?"
Oh, of course. So if you would like to look here, there's a beautiful fruit of a fae, and she holds up this like glowing orange fruit. Oh, and don't watch out for my plant up above your head, and there's like a spiraling purple plant that is growing in midair. Both of which are lovely additions to any health potion you might desire. I also have just received a glimmer root.
I'm actually looking to sell these, and I'm gonna take my bag of holding and pull out like a sample of the mushroom that we picked.
Roll an insight check.
Ooh.
21.
Her, she's a seller of things. She's been very enthusiastic with you. Her whole demeanor shifts, and you can see just like math running through her eyeballs as she sees the opportunity here. She's her breath comes a little bit short, not enough for most people to notice, but you catch it with your investigator's eye. She turns away.
I spy with my investigator's eye.
She turns back to you. Hello there. So, what are you looking to get for those? You just have what you have?
I have
As
about. Sorry, go ahead.
as he right before he starts to talk, I'm just gonna lean down and put both my hands on his shoulders and just go. Just remember, we work hard for the money, and then I cast inspiration.
Um,
Oh, God,
so you said that
so
I know
stupid.
that these are valuable. Do I know like what a good price for that is? I think I have 50 pounds of them.
Market prices fluctuate. I think it depends on really what's needed by the market and what the market will bear in this moment, because you have a surplus of it. But if you were able to get a vendor to pick it up in a way that worked out well, and then they were being savvy about it, you could avoid flooding the market and keep things flowing. I mean, the sampling that you have in hand is probably like 20 gold's worth easily. You have a whole lot more.
But it is a perishable, right? So if I leave it in my bag of holding, it will eventually like reduce in quality. So I can't just like keep it and like use it to sell when I need money.
It would need to be preserved in the type of thing that an apothecary keeps.
Okay.
Some sort of preservative
So I have.
environment.
I'm gonna like look into my bag, like root around there with my arm. I would say about 50 pounds of this mushroom.
I would be more than happy to take that off your hands.
Insight check.
Well,
Roll your insight check.
Ooh. I have to get back to.
If you also roll a
23.
nat 20, we're going to fleece this vendor so hard.
I did not. I rolled a 16 though, and I have a +7 modifier. It would have been pretty sweet if I had.
As she continues speaking and indicating that she's definitely interested in this product, you can see Alua just a little bit of sweat trickle down her forehead. I think that we might need to work out some sort of plan. I need to maybe I have some partners I can check in with, and I'm sure we can secure the whole. I do currently have room in my inventory. And I did hear that there's another city coming here soon, which would be great because then I could diversify my. Have additional customers. I mean, she's kind of rambling.
So with our insight checks, is the vibe we're getting that she really wants it, but she doesn't have the money for it? Is that the...
You can't
Not for
tell
all
whether
that
or
we
not she
have.
has the money for it, but you can tell that she's going to have to make a major leap. Like, if you imagined yourself as her, like, especially with that insight, those insight checks, your empathy to understanding the situation is such that it's going to be a major business decision for her to do this.
Like, does she seem trustworthy if I were to just let her take it on credit, I guess?
I'll need you to, like, engage with her to establish trustworthiness. So far, you've been, like, figuring out her immediate
Face
reaction to
value.
this materials, but, like, just from a standpoint as players, you haven't really found out anything about her or put anything in front of her that fits that zone. At face value, she seems really eager to acquire this, but very stressed about what this might mean to her and her work.
I'm just like, are you okay? You look very overwhelmed, maybe?
Well, this could be, and she kind of mumbles under her breath, don't let the customer see you sweat. Don't let the customer see you sweat. Don't let the customer see you sweat.
And can I hold up my hands and I just go, listen, we're friends. We're not looking to swindle you. We want to trust you with this. I think everybody standing here wants the best out of this situation. So if this feels like a lot of pressure, perhaps we can talk a little bit more. Maybe you have some items that you can exchange right now to help make up what would be a cost, something that would be useful to us. Or if you have a recommendation of how we can keep these in good condition until you are ready to take them. If you can advise us on that, we're more than happy to take those steps. And then we can make sure that you're the first person we come to once you're ready. So there's no immediate pressure. If that helps relieve some of the stress that you're experiencing right now.
I mean, if you would like, actually, and she kind of looks around and if you could come over here, and she just gestures a little bit closer to the spiraling plant above her head.
Just us, or just me, or us?
Just the group.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're still attached to Seraphina via the back.
Yes. Well, I mean, if I come, so does she.
My dearest plant, I claim sanctuary. And as she says that, you can feel a little bubble gently fall of silence. Not silencing you all, but creating a barrier so that nobody can hear what's being said.
Voice.
So, sorry about that. In the privacy of this space, though, it would wipe me out financially to buy those at a reasonable price. If there are some items that I could provide you to help compensate for that cost, I need to take this risk. but I'm really nervous about this.
So, here's my thought. We have an income problem, and it seems you maybe have a material problem. So, what if we sold you some outright up front and we invest the rest in your business and get a percentage from you over time as you are able to monetize this material?
So I would give you something that would keep things floating here, and you would give me the whole lot, but a portion of it would become an investment between us.
We would be a silent partner in your business.
And the three of you are all amenable to this?
I mean, it seems like a win-win for everyone. What do you think?
Murder!
Also, we almost get killed a lot, so maybe it'll work out for you and you can just keep everything.
Or you could donate our percentage to a charitable.
Or that.
You
There
could.
are a lot of. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You
Nope. I gotta remember it.
go. Okay. I mean, we try to. There are a lot of issues in the city that could certainly use addressing, and if it seems that money always seems to be the cause, or at least the what's lacking in order for those things to be resolved. So
Money or magic, the two M's of this world.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So, what could you afford to part with today that wouldn't put you in financial straits?
Well, I just recently purchased an upgrade, and she pats her cart, and the structure on the top is like kind of overbuilt. I just invested in this preservation spell, and so I could take all of your product, which would be great. But it means I'm down to just 1,000 gold.
My house. No.
I could, if I could retain a little bit of margin on that, because there's an opportunity here. If I can find a reasonable apothecary turning these raw ingredients into a more refined variety has a huge markup value. But I'm guessing that that's going to range anywhere from 100 to 200 gold to get that set up and retain full, without selling them some of the product in the process, which then means they're now a competitor for selling the refined materials. And I think you do understand that this is enough to make an entire lifetime's work preserved properly.
I guess that was a lucky find on our part then. All right.
Let's just say that in this case, it's being put to better use than it was from where we got it. So, if you can benefit, if we die and the people of this city benefit from our share, if we're able to benefit, anybody besides the people that were growing these.
How about we get 500 gold up front? We'll give you all of the materials, and we get a 10% stake in your business.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
And you have inspiration.
Ah.
I just want to know why Gus is doing the negotiations. He's not the face, but okay.
Wait.
I mean, I'm also Larissa's not good at negotiating, so.
What was it? Persuasion?
Yes.
Wait, what?
I think I figured it out. Hold on. Serafina pops up and just goes, if giving you the books proves to be efficacious, then hooray for us!
Her face just looks really confused. Books?
The thing. They're not books. I don't know why I said books.
Mushrooms.
The mushrooms.
I got 24 with the inspiration.
Okay, Serafina, enjoy that inspiration. You stretcher of stretches. 24.
But at least I tried.
Like the drunken factor is even better. It's so good.
It works.
She puts out her hand to you to shake, and then she reaches down and picks up a little a plant of some sort and wipes it on her palm first and hands it to you.
What is this?
Yes, wipe it on your... Yes! She shakes her hand with you, and you have made the deal. She bites
Passive
into the
income.
fruit. The half that she still has, she bites into it. This is great. Oh, this is setting us up. We're partners. We're business partners.
Woo! By
I
the
have
way,
colleagues.
I'm Alua.
Oh yeah, I'm Gush. This is Serafina.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Crint.
Hi, Cringe. Glad
Is
to
that
be in
like
business with you.
CRINT? Crint?
I don't know how to write.
We can work on that if you'd like.
No, it would mess with my friends.
maths?
They would not want to grow as much if I was... They like story time.
I have lots of stories. Do they like music?
I don't know. We should try an experiment. I have a greenhouse out in the woods. Well, I had a greenhouse. It looks like it might be not a greenhouse anymore.
Is
Is
the
it
Hollow
purple?
Council trying to take it?
Yeah.
My house is out there too. That's happening to me too. I'm working on it.
So it's not
Well, if you-
purple. Or maybe,
She just
or
looks
maybe red?
Baffled.
Well, what's a greenhouse if it's not green?
Is your friend okay?
Serafina, a greenhouse is actually a clear glass building where you grow plants. It's a temperature controlled building.
It's called a greenhouse because the things inside of it are green.
Mhm.
Well,
What?
You should check it out. I think the mechanics of it would interest you.
So, is it the city is trying to take your land as well?
yeah, well, is it really ours? I feel it's very confusing because when you're outside the city limits, you can just establish yourself. And that's why I started off outside the city. And then when the city expands, they have rules and they make up rules about the places that weren't theirs before.
I do have.
We're working on that.
I have a barrister that is helping with this. I'll pass your name along as well.
Well, I hope they're able to solve it for you. I don't think anybody's going to be able to solve it for me.
Why not?
I just don't know what a barrister is.
A lawyer,
Someone who's going
person
to
who
advocate.
knows the law.
Yes, who's going to advocate for us and for you and Gus to make sure that they can't take your land
For
or
me
the
too.
land where you've been inhabiting.
Well, I really like this partnership now.
All right.
Like the naivety is like so cute, but also like, oh my god,
We have to have
so
T-shirts.
much oh honey, oh my god.
We have T-shirts now. If Crint dies, we riot.
Their charisma is super high. Their wisdom is below par. So I was like, oh, I know what that looks like. I can do this one.
Stand back, guys. I got this.
Watch out.
I can be.
I know how to do this.
I can be adorable. I can be adorable and know nothing.
I can.
I don't qualify to be a druid, but I still grow plants because they like me enough.
Just grow plants through sheer force of style.
Like, legitimately, charisma, a warlock background just to grow plants.
Krint's plants are perky because Krint's perky.
Yes, exactly. 100%. Oh, I'm so excited. I think I need to close down my stall for the day and get things in motion. And here's your and she like turns, and then there's this little terracotta kind of bleached white pot. And she says, "Cover your ears, please."
I'll plug my ears.
As Seraphina doesn't make it quite in time. No, I'm kidding. She pulls out a plant, and there's just, even with your ears covered, you hear this screeching. But she pulls out a bag from beneath it, and she just hands you a very heavy bag of 500 gold.
All right, I'm just going to take that for now. So that's in I just put that in my inventory just so you guys know.
Sounds good.
Then, all right. I'm going to exchange information like Alua's, where to find her, where my house is, where Seraphina lives, just so like we know how to get a hold of each other.
Yeah.
And then we'll go on to a bookstore if there is one.
If there's anything you need ever, reach out. I know a lot of the, as you wander away.
Oh, I'll be like, is there a good place to sell books around here?
Yes. Actually, it's not public knowledge, but if you go to the bakery just across the way, upstairs they have a huge collection of books. Complete bibliophile. That's not an inappropriate thing. I learned that it means that they're not actually doing anything dirty. It means that if they were going to do something dirty, it'd probably be with the books, because I guess that's how that works. I don't really understand, but yeah, there might be flour on their books if they're. I don't. Never
check it
mind.
out.
I think I'm confused.
Thank you for that information. All right, we're gonna check out I'm gonna go to the bakery and be like, I would like to sell some books.
You walk into this bakery after being directed there, and it is beautiful. There are 4 large tables heaped with various types of baked goods. There's bundt cakes and pies and pretzels and buns and loaves and all sorts of glorious food.
I'm going to turn to Seraphina and be like, would you feel better if you had some snacks?
Swords!
Next.
The oven is creating this oppressive heat, and they're covered head to toe in flour, icing, other things. The baking is clearly just done, and there's this kid, maybe in their mid-teens, red hair, pointy ears. Sorry. Baking for tomorrow is almost ready. I gotta get started on that. Which order are you picking up?
I'm not actually picking up. I have some books to sell, and a friend of mine told me you might be interested. Upstairs here.
Mom! You hear the heavy stomping, thump, 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 and a very large, red-skinned being, sharp, pointy ears, matronly, comes down. Her baking outfit is pristine. Not a scrap of flour or frosting. Her hands perfectly clean. She comes down the stairs and she looks at this kid. Oh. Did the flour bag explode again? Hold still. And you just hear, and her kid starts getting cleaned.
I love that
Aw.
this stupid joke from campaign 1 just keeps coming back.
It's the best.
It's how everybody
Ash's-
learned to do
It's Ash's
prestidigitation.
legacy.
Asher.
Never
is the
mind that
source
Asher
for
became a god
prestidigitation.
at the end of campaign 1. His real legacy is that he used like a squeaky rag sound to clean people with prestidigitation. I'm gonna lean over to Alua and be like, perhaps you'd like to handle this negotiation. I think you're more persuasive than me. Might have used up my my deal making luck for the day.
I can certainly try. And I go over to her and I go, our friend down the way with the lovely plants mentioned that you are a lover of books and a collector, and we happen to have some that we are looking to sell. Would you be interested in taking a look at them?
Oh, I'm very curious. What is a variety, a specific topic?
Well, why don't we just pull them out and you can peruse them if you have the time?
Oh,
There's a lot. Where's a good spot to set them?
let's go upstairs. Just a second. And she takes her tongue, licks her face, and just like wipes her kid's face off. Like, I can't wait till you learn how to clean yourself. And then she waves the three of you to follow
Not real
her.
inspiring for eating the baked goods here. This disgusting child is cooking everything.
Coming upstairs, you're in a room that could easily cosplay as a library, except that there are stacks of books on the floor, on top of the bookcases. There are stacks of books in places that they just shouldn't be. I think in the modern day, you sometimes run into people who have dishwashers that are full of like paper towels and other things like that because they needed more storage space and they wash their dishes in the sink, or they make their kids do it. The fireplace has books in it. So let's find some seats, and she kind of like stacks some tomes up
To become chairs.
to be and please make yourself comfortable. Let's see what we have here.
I'm going to kind
As
of
Alua does like the talking, I'm just going to start removing the 400 pounds of books, 450 pounds of books from my bag of holding and stacking them up.
Now, and I just kind of turn to Seraphine. I'm like, do you want to stay there or do you want to sit on your own?
I want to and then I want to look at the woman and go, can I, do you have any books on building things?
Oh, yes, I do. Quite a few. I wrote a few of them.
You wrote them. Can I read one?
Sure, I suppose. I don't let them leave me, you know, when you adopt a book.
No, I'll sit
can-
right here, and I sit down and I go, and I sit here and I'll read it.
Can I do a quick medicine check just to see how she's feeling? Like to make sure she isn't going to like throw up on a book?
Yeah, go for it.
She's also not actually drunk, right? Because she only was drinking virgin drinks, right?
She was
No.
drinking.
Nah, I think this time
Well-
she went full on
Okay.
lay alcohol.
Yeah. That's what a dirty
alcoholic
Shirley
plus
is. If she
sugar.
was drinking
Okay.
a Shirley Temple, then yeah, but a dirty Shirley is alcoholic. I keep looking. 15?
Seraphina.
Yeah, man, I feel great.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I think she feels great. Not sick though, just good.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna wait for to be bestowed upon an amazing book to read to learn more.
Yeah, I mean, she hands you a book, and it's, you know, pretty decently sized. And so this is the one I wrote on water wheels.
Okay, thank you. And I'm just gonna start reading.
guess I shouldn't warn her about that. Never mind. And she comes over and she looks at Gus and Alua. So, whoa, this is quite the collection.
Yes.
Um,
Don't feel pressured. Just
Tax
be.
law. Fundamentals of... Huh. It's an encyclopedia of legal proceedings? Interesting. She's like palming through them. And like as she goes through, it's like book after book is ridiculously boring. And her face just gets more and more alight as she looks at them.
Really?
Like-
Insight check?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
Okay. Basically, I want to ascertain if she's genuinely interested in the books or if she's interested in just acquiring more books and but is going to downplay their value. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I rolled a 14 in my insight check.
That's cocked. Go the other way. Okay. Not as good as my other one. What is it? Plus 7? 18.
Because she's keeping one eye on Serafina the whole time, and she's got this distraction thing. It's just really interesting. Like she's constraining herself really hardcore. She's pretending to just like the subject matter of the books, but she's really excited.
Oh.
Just about the sheer number of books?
Just lacks books.
So, what would you propose as the adoption fee?
What?
How
Do
many
you-
books are there? Do we know? Like, what's the actual number versus the number of versus the?
Because I feel like some of them
weight?
are like huge books that weigh like
We're
20 pounds,
filling
and then
by-
there's a bunch of little.
Poundage. So you just
Going by
it's
poundage.
a ton. It's a ton of books.
I mean, we could. So
Keeping in mind
since-
that books in this world like have to be produced magically. The things like printing presses and stuff like that, they're just not something that people invest in anymore. Like that's the if you imagine the Industrial Revolution was a magical revolution, everything was based on using and utilizing magic. Books still mean an individual is doing some sort of magical copy and paste, which means there's personal effort. So books are kind of expensive. The fancier they are, the more expensive they are. But producing a book is either paying someone to scribe it by hand, which takes a long time but is low cost, or getting it magically recrafted using a variety of different spells.
Okay. What? Well, are you interested in the whole lot or just a few of them?
Oh, yes, I wouldn't want anybody to feel left out. I feel like... So, are you a book shelter?
We rescue books.
Your book rescuers. That is so wonderful. Where did you rescue these precious ones from?
Meanies.
Well,
I just pick up, go back.
well, so where we got these from, let's just say the location no longer exists because people decided they didn't want anyone else to know that they were there, not us.
These were rescued from cruel book owners, and we want to
They were
make
being
sure they go to a
neglected.
better home.
Truly.
Well, for being neglected, they are remarkably well kept. Very little in terms of grooming will need to be done. I can do a little bit of restoration work, but
They would have certainly perished if we had not grabbed them.
well, are you not the most wondrous of people? Are you incorporated?
We're not. We're just good Samaritans. But if you're interested, we can certainly keep you in mind if we come across other
Well, that
books
will
in need of rescuing.
limit my ability to do a donation to your organization if you don't actually have an organization. You should really become affiliated. That would be great. There are tax benefits for both you and for those who adopt. I'm happy to adopt without the tax benefits, although it does mean I can adopt more if there is those sorts of pieces involved here. But it looks
I'll keep that in mind for the future. This is kind of our first real foray. We just happened upon a very large collection.
The world needs more freelance folks out there ready to rescue the abandoned.
I feel like Asher would appreciate this lady so much.
I'm just gonna turn.
Gus, because you've said that, I need you to roll a perception check.
Oh. Did you say that out loud?
No,
That's
but
a net.
Oh.
That's a net one. Sorry.
so Serafina and Alua, Gus never sees this, but both of you catch a little emblem in the corner of the fireplace that lists and says Asher Society for Book Preservation and Recovery.
Oh.
She is legitimately one of the people who saw that side of Asher and chose to be, or well, a society formed around legitimately, like, we rescue books from people who treat books poorly.
Aww.
I'm just gonna turn to Gus and say, maybe we go by weight.
I don't know anything about any of these books or what they're worth. So
I mean,
maybe we ask her to make us a fair offer and just take it.
okay. She seems like she would do that, and then we can just, with the promise that we'll come to her first if we have any others. Okay, I'm gonna turn back. So, what do you feel would be fair for all of them?
Well, it's not about what I would feel is fair. It's really what sort of investment you had to put into this, what your costs were, your overhead. You've got to make sure you can continue doing your good work. So really, I just need to hear from you what the adoption fees will be, and then I will make sure that they
Let's see.
continue
There
to
was
be-
the collection, the dungeon delve, the being from the collapsing building, the hike through the caves underground. About 1,500 gold.
Let me see to it, my dear. I will be right back. And
I just look at Alua. When she turns around, I look at Alua like,
you can hear a creaking sound as she walks behind a pile of what you thought was a wall, but it's just more books. And you hear another creaking sound, and she comes back down and says, well, I might be a little bit short, but since you are those who rescue books, perhaps we could work out an exchange. I don't normally allow my precious wonders to leave the nest, but this particular tome, it's a free spirit, likes to see the world. So I could hopefully interest you in 750 gold and this precious little bundle.
Are you sure? I mean, listen, maybe, what if in exchange you allow us to come peruse your collection for research purposes when we have need of it? We, as you may have inferred, rescuing can be quite dangerous, and I would hate for one of your precious lings to wind up trying to think of a noun for
booklings.
one of your little booklets to end up somewhere unsavory, in one of our attempts.
I mean, I could keep it safe inside my bag. It should be safe enough. But,
Right, but if something happens to you,
can I look at the book and just see what it is before we just?
Yes. Looking at the book.
Fine.
Just give me a second. I need to pull it back up.
And I just kind of elbow Gus and I go, "Don't be selfish."
How a warlock can cast 90 fireballs at once.
Let me find. Sorry, I just closed it on accident rather than keeping it open, which is my bad.
I'm more interested for Serafina that she would get a book to leave with. So I'm curious to see what it is.
Come on, do your thingy.
We're gonna have to collect books everywhere we go now.
Or at least keep an eye out.
And file our 501c3 for book rescue.
Maybe we should keep the one on tax law.
It's cool. I have a lawyer.
I was gonna say if she wasn't interested, well, we know who to go to next.
Okay,
Well,
so
our luck would be he already has them.
looking at the book, the title stands out to you, and the title is Asher's Book of Well-Kept Secrets and Lost Tales.
Ooh.
Kind of like looking at it in first inspection, the pages are blank. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Dirty 20.
As you are looking at it in this moment, you're focusing on this empty page, just this particular empty page. You see text start to form, and it's in a language you understand. Honestly, it's in one of any of the languages you understand, and it shares this. You have found the baked book.
The what book?
The baked book, and it's
Baked book?
As you kind of read that first part, it extrapolates further. This bakery has rescued, and it's got quotes in it, 70 generations of books. And in the baked book, you found this book, which will tell you one secret a day.
Cool.
This could be.
Whose secret?
Any secret.
It is a book of.
I'm gonna be like, book. What is today's secret?
I think that
You
was
see
the
a little
secret.
ellipses, period. I just shared it, silly.
Oh, I love a sassy book. Yes.
Okay, we'll ask again tomorrow. I'll close the book. Like,
As you close it, you
everybody-
see more ellipses forming.
I'll open it back up.
The ellipses keep forming. Ha ha,
Smart
got
ass.
you.
All right. I think we can keep this safe in my bag of holding and return it to you after it's seen a bit of the world.
Yeah, if your magical security device from which you put all of these others is a safe location, and I feel confident. Also, the last thing it told me was that it was time for it to wander the world again, so I am guessing that it was it knew you were coming.
Ah. Smart book.
Interesting. All right, I think we have a deal.
And we'll certainly bring,
More books.
yes.
We
if you
are
would
our
like.
primary career is investigators, so we are in a situation to come across rare books frequently, I would think.
I've heard of this term, and I always have seen myself as a literary investigator, so we are of the same people.
Agreed. Serafina, how's your book?
Serafina,
How's
roll
it
an
going?
intelligence check.
Yeah. Okay. Intelligence.
That's a weird one.
+4. 22.
Woohoo! With the 22, you've really absorbed this knowledge, and you have some new ideas about how water might power different contraptions that you make. Even rainwater could be used. The author, who you've met, actually really got into detail around this, and even was talking about how all of Overton could potentially become a floating city through the power of the water wheel.
Whoa.
But you will now have advantage on creations and understanding creations that are powered by water.
Very cool. That's awesome. I'm writing that down.
Rats.
Well, if I can interest you in a baguette, a croissant.
I think we always like a good snack.
Oh, please. I have a whole room dedicated to cookbooks, and baking worked best.
Honestly, a good meal can make or break a day. And I
Well-
think baked goods are necessary at any meal. They are the foundation of any meal. Sweet or savory.
We do both and more. I also have this new sour rye to die for.
Do you deliver?
Of course, you can't run the entire city's baking empire without delivery.
Could I set up a recurring delivery to my home for me and my sisters?
Sure. Sisters, that sounds familiar. Huh. Certainly, leave your address, and she hands you a little slip of paper. And we'll coordinate out deliveries. Usually, folks like to send in their requests ahead of time, and I prefer to go with the daily delivery schedule. Fresh baked is best, but we can also do weekly.
Let's say weekly, just because we're in and out and I wouldn't want anything to go to waste. So I would say if we could do like a Sunday mid-morning, that would be beautiful. Almost everybody has late nights on Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays. The weekends can be long days for us. So, or nights rather. So Sunday mid-morning would be beautiful. And as for requests, I would say surprise us. Whatever you feel great about. I think when people make food for others, their feelings come through. So whatever is bringing you joy in that moment, please feel free to send along.
Beautiful. Well, since it looks like you're all leaving along with, and she kind of hands you this canvas bag of various baked goods, I would like to leave you all with my specialty. And she pulls out from like a rack as she's kind of walked you downstairs at this point. She pulls out a rack, and you can see a bunch of different individually baked little mini cakes. They look kind of like moon pies, but each are in the shape of a book.
Ooh.
And they're stamped across the top of it is chapter closed.
Oh.
It's so good.
And with that, we're going to close up this session.
So good.
Swords next time.
Thank you
Sorry,
for
Serafina.
joining us.
Market day 2. To be continued.
Swords.
Hope you find your pod and take care of yourselves. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Okay, bye.